Welcome back to Jason's Pen Journey. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my adventures in Chicago last month. Um, I was going from San Francisco to Dublin, Ireland for work, and I had a connection through Chicago on my way to Dublin. Flight from San Francisco to Chicago, no problems. And as we were doing the final inspection on the plane that was going to leave from Chicago O'Hare to Dublin, they found some mechanical problems with the engine. Thankfully, they found it before the flight took off and before the flight was over the Atlantic Ocean. Um, so they deplaned and had to do engine maintenance, which wound up taking, I think, in total at least 7 hours. Um, and because it was going to be so delayed for so long, I wound up rebooking. So instead of leaving on Friday night from Chicago to Dublin, I wound up rebooking to Saturday night. And that meant I had an overnight stay in Chicago ahead of me. And what do you do when you're a fountain pen nerd and you're stuck with an extra day in Chicago? You go visit Atlas Stationers in downtown. So I did that, and I'll tell you a little bit about that experience. I've ordered from Atlas online several times over the last year. I've found their selection to be great, customer service to be great, good prices, um, and so I've kind of been admiring them from afar. And so when I had a chance to go to the store in person, I was really excited about it. And so I was staying at the Hilton at O'Hare Airport overnight, and the nice thing was that the train goes right from that from the airport right to downtown, and there's a stop that is like a 2-minute walk from Atlas front door. So it was really super easy to get there. I had no trouble with that, and happened to go on a nice crisp fall day. It was the weather turned out to be gorgeous that day. It was cold, but not too bad. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about the store and show you what I wound up buying. Um, I got there about 10:30 in the morning. I think they opened up at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Place wasn't too busy at that point in time. I was there in the first half hour they were open. Um, and just a really large store space. Awesome selection of paper products, planners, inks, all the kind of ephemera that you expect from a stationer, and then a really nice fountain pen selection. They have a lot of brands that I was already familiar with, and then I got a chance to try some pens that I had been looking at online, but really, wanted to see in person before I made the commitment to buying them. The staff was incredible. Every time you're kind of walking down the aisles, there's somebody there to help. They're very friendly, very welcoming. Um, if you stop and look at anything, they're there to see, if you need any help and if you have any questions. I got some great help at the fountain pen displays from, I think their names were Al and Sarah. I apologize if I got that wrong, but they were really helpful. And I got a chance to try some pens that had been kind of looking at from afar, um, including one that I wanted to test out in person before I bought it, and then another one that it's kind of on my Grail wish list, and I wanted to see it in person as well. So did both of those. Um, so let me take you through what I wound up purchasing, and that was my trip to Alice. So let's switch over to the overhead camera. So first, just a little postcard to memorialize my trip there, and nothing really special about that. That's just a postcard. I did buy a tote bag. So there's the bottom. Sorry, it's not going to fit in the frame here, but an Atlas Stationer's tote bag. You all know what tote bags look like. I did get a couple of stickers as well. So we've got the kind of the Chicago Red Star themed, as well as a sticker for Atlas itself. Got a couple of rickshaw sleeves that are exclusive to Atlas. So not that I needed more rickshaw sleeves, but we've got the Atlas, that same image that was from the postcard, as well as the same one that I had on the Red Star sticker, the fountain pen nib, Red Star themed. So those are cool. I bought some paper. So first was a MD letter writing pad. It's an A5 size. It's got this nice little indentation on the bottom corner. It's bound on the right side as well as the top, so you can kind of have it really secure as you're writing. Sorry, this is not going to fit in frame. So really secure as you're writing, and then when you're ready, it tears away, but it tears away at 2 different points, so it stays really secure. Midori paper is awesome. I've used it a lot for some other things. Then I got a Nemesine A5 dot grid notebook. Been wanting to try this paper for a while, and finally had a chance to grab one. Haven't used it yet, but looking forward to that. Bought a bunch of inks. I bought a bunch of Atlas's exclusives. I don't have them handy. I bought them as gifts for my wife. So there was like 5 or 6 different Robert Oster exclusives that were shimmer based, which is something that she really enjoys. So I don't have those handy, but I bought as many as I could. And then for myself, I got the Atlas exclusives. Let's see if we can get the light to show up here. So this is Andorillum Chicago River Green. Just a really nice, kind of on the lighter side green. And I happen to have my Atlas Stationer swatch cards already, coincidentally. So that was the Andorillum exclusive for Atlas. Then I got the Robert Oster Atlas exclusive. This is, let's see if I can get this to focus. Polar Vortex. It's not going to show up really well there on the camera, but this is a kind of a light purple with pink undertones, a little lighter than a lot of the things, but it should be fun to write with. And then I got a few different wearing goals. So first, they've got all their literary themes. This is an Atlas exclusive wearing goal. This is actually called Atlas for Atlas. It's a glistening, you can see the shimmer down at the bottom as I shake it up. So you can see that all shimmering in there. Shimmer or glistening is not really my style. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up very well here, but this one's got a ton of shimmer. Not really my style, but I just love the color, and I do like the wearing gold inks. Then I also got non-exclusive, well, I was out of just a color that I thought was really cool. This Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, also glistening. Very purple. It doesn't show up in the camera as well, but it's a purple with some kind of gold and blue undertones there. So it does in person show much more purple than I think you're seeing on camera. And then last but not least, I also got one more wearing goal. This is the Franz Kafka Metamorphosis. This is more of a brown, kind of burgundy red, dark, deep red. There's a little bit of shimmer in there, but not much. It's not labeled as a glistening like the other 2 were, and it doesn't really show up as much. I was doing a bunch of writing with it over the weekend. It's not shimmer based really. And then the big thing that I wound up buying, as if those weren't enough, I bought one pen. This is the Delta DV Original Oversize. So, and it's fine nib with a 14 karat gold nib. It's a big number 8 size nib, really thick, thick pen as you hold it and you grip it. It's not very long. It doesn't post. but it is thick, and it's when you write with it for a long time because of at least my grip and how I hold a pen and use a pen. I can write for a long time. I'm not going to do a writing sample on this video. You know what it looks like for when I write. It does come with a little Delta ink. It's basic black. Nothing exciting, just Delta black. But this was my big pen purchase for the month of November. I actually wound up only buying 2 pens, well, maybe 3 total for the whole month of November, as it turned out. And this was the entirety of my purchasing for November, other than one other pen that I wound up buying over Thanksgiving, and then a Drillog dip pen that I've mentioned on a previous video. I'll do some other videos for those 2 pens, both the Drillog and the other pen that I got over Thanksgiving. I'll do separate videos for those. But that's actually all I bought in the month of November. It was a much more quiet and sedate month for me, in spite of it being Fountain Pen Day and in spite of it being Black Friday and all that, just because I had gone crazy in August, September, October, and kind of needed to slow down my spending a little bit. Yeah, that was my trip to Atlas. So thank you to the Atlas Stationers staff that made it a really welcoming experience going in there. Again, Sarah and Al, I think were their names. It's been a few weeks since I was actually there, so the memory's a little fuzzy. But thank you to them for all their help looking at the fountain pens. And the one that I didn't buy, but really got a chance to spend a little bit of time looking at and holding, but not inked up, was the, if anybody wants to buy it for me for my birthday coming up next month, is the Pilot Custom Urushi in Vermilion. It's just an absolutely gorgeous pen. I'll drop a photo here so you can see it, but that's kind of the next kind of grail pen that I'm looking at, and see if I will actually want to make that purchase. It's quite expensive. But yeah, that was my trip to Atlas. Obviously, I made it. After that, I went back to the airport, hopped on the plane, went to Dublin, had my week in Ireland with my team over there. Came back, had Thanksgiving, and back to work this week. So that was my trip to Atlas. Again, thank you again to the Atlas folks. If you are in Chicago or you find yourself in Chicago, definitely go check out the store. It's awesome. I think I mentioned when I got there it was pretty empty, but by the time I was checking out, the place had been completely filled up. It was a nice day on a Saturday, and since that time they've actually started opening on Sundays now. So they've got store hours, I think 7 days a week now. Leading up to the holidays, I'm not sure if that's a permanent thing for them. And I know that they've been slammed with orders from both Fountain Pen Day and Black Friday, and they're working overtime to get those shipments fulfilled and sent out to people in time for the holidays. So go check them out, and definitely give them some of your business. I don't have any affiliate code or anything like that. I don't have any kind of business relationship with them. So this is just me giving a recommendation of the place to go if you're in the area, or if you're shopping online. They're awesome. Like I said, great selection, good prices, great customer service. So that's Atlas Stationers in Chicago. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them on the video. Give a like, give a subscribe to the channel, and until I see you next time, keep on writing.